We're just about 5 minutes away from the tip. Drew Neitzel is not going to start tonight. He has a stomach flu, but he is expected to play as Michigan State tries to upset the #1 team in the land, UCLA, coming up after football.
Reese, Kansas City, the home of the brand new Sprint Center, which hosted its first ever athletic event just a night ago, and we're right beside the National Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame. Magic Johnson, Michigan State, all the tradition of UCLA. Those two great programs will battle tonight on the court here in Kansas City. It's the championship game of the O'Reilly Auto Parts CBE Classic, all a part of Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. #1, UCLA #11, Michigan State in front of a packed house here in KC. But an issue for Michigan State. Drew Neitzel has come down with a stomach virus. He will not start. He is expected to play. He has not been able to keep anything down all day today. A preseason All-American. He is vital to the hopes of the Spartans to tonight and, of course, beyond. His replacement in the starting lineup, Travis Walton, the other co-captain. He's got a sprained right wrist, suffered while taking a charge a night ago. He will play, but is not 100%. Hi, everybody. Dan Schulman and Dick Vitale with you here in Kansas City. The first time on the young college basketball season, two ranked teams will meet. This will be fun.
Well, you know, watching Neitzel warm up, Dan, I think he's going to play and be effective. He really had a bounce to his step, making shots. On the other side, UCLA's playing without Darren Collison. Yep. But then you look certainly at Michigan State. Outstanding rebounding basketball team. They have out-rebounded their opponents by 20 rebounds or more in every game. That means Kevin Love better be big on the glass.
As we go now to our Star Watch tonight, brought to you by Progressive. Kevin Love is a part of it. Look at the night the freshman had last night against Maryland. 18 points, 16 rebounds. Goran Suton, one of the best nights of his Michigan State career, in a win against Missouri. 17 points and 9 rebounds, including some pivotal buckets down the stretch. Now the starting lineups brought to you by Sonic. Russell Westbrook filling in for Darren Collison. At the point for UCLA, Josh Shipp, another hip surgery on the other one this past summer, but he sure has looked healthy so far this year. For Tom Izzo's Michigan State Spartans, Raymar Morgan has been a monster early on this season, averaging double figures in points and rebounds. And keep an eye, if you can, on Kalen Lucas, part of a very strong three-man freshman class for the Spartans. The kid is a blur with the basketball.
There really is. Does a terrific job handling the ball. They got 3 outstanding diaper dandies that they brought in, Summers and Allen as well. When you look at UCLA, though, you think of physicality and you think of defense. Tom Izzo, a competitor, but this guy here has won 60 games, back-to-back years of 30 games. First time since 71-72 when they were coached by the greatest of them all, the Wizard of Westwood, John Wooden.
Back-to-back Final Fours for UCLA as well, looking to take the next step and win it all. And they are #1 in a dead heat with North Carolina atop the poll. Nobody's been ranked #1 more often than UCLA, and you saw their record, a remarkable record, when they are the #1 team in the country.
Dan, both these clubs obviously operate at a higher pace when they have their point guards, both superstars, in Neitzel and Collison.
Kevin Love misses the putback after coming down with the offensive rebound. It is going to be a very physical affair tonight. That was the most important point emphasized by Ben Howland in the shoot-around today. Marquise Gray gives Michigan State the lead.
He can be a key player because when you look at UCLA, they have some outstanding complementary guys. Aboya, and you talk about Lorenzo Real. You certainly talk about Luke Rashad, Umbad, Amute. Those guys are so physical and so important to this UCLA team.
Love off the side of the backboard, the follow by Westbrook. Love another rebound, but he has it stripped. And Bamute comes up with it. The shot clock did reset. Josh Shipp, he's got height and strength on Travis Walton, but Walton is a tenacious defender.
Westbrook did a good job yesterday handling the ball. He's not a perimeter shooter.
Love gets tied up. And Kevin Love has discovered in the first minute and 22 seconds how physical this game is going to be. Looks like he might have taken a bit of a shot to the nose. How did UCLA get here? They roughed up Youngstown State and Cal State San Bernardino and then beat Maryland by 12. And Kevin Love is indeed shaken up and is actually going to come out of this game. And he may be bleeding as he comes out. And Lorenzo Real, he is bleeding and looking a little bit dazed after all that contact underneath the basket.
Well, once the blood comes, he has to go out, has to leave the game. And He'll be back in shortly. Dad mighty proud of him, Stan. I'll tell you one thing, this kid is a great position player. He understands, has great instincts, savvy, a feel, understands the flow of a game.
And he not only doesn't mind the physical contact, he likes the contact, but he'd better, because you're going to get it. Look at that hole. Boy, you got to call that.
By UCLA, the one thing Ben Holland's done an amazing job is bringing that defensive mindset. And when you defend and play exceptionally well defensively, you always have a chance to win.
Yeah.
That's why I think Memphis is going to be so good this year, because they guard people.
Let's take another look at how Kevin Love got hurt under the basket.
Oh, there's the contact. Wow.
Running right into the back or the shoulder of Travis Walton. So Love is on the bench.
May come down to execution in your half-court game.
Yeah.
Both clubs will get back defensively and make you really execute.
A boy along on the jumper, weak side rebound in the air ball by Gray.
Look at the quickness. Lucas really runs the ball up the court.
Wow, what a great move by Morgan, hanging in midair and banking it home.
Oh, he's one of the better Souths in America. He's going to have a breakout year this year, along with Spates down at Florida. Think about Henderson at Duke.
Morgan early averaging 19 points and 11 rebounds per game. And another rebound by Marquise Gray. Morgan again. Oh, and Allen, no, they're going to wave it off. The ball was going to go in, but Allen got his hand into the cylinder.
As soon as he put the hand in the cylinder, no goal. But the one thing that's a positive for Michigan State is the way they're getting out in transition. You can't interfere with that net.
And he got his hand in there, and that ball was going to go in. 4-0 Michigan State.
Man-to-man defense, nothing fancy. Both clubs in your face. Help out.
Again, if you're a little bit late joining us, Drew Neitzel has a stomach virus. Didn't start. They hope he's going to play. He is on the bench right now.
UCLA really out of sync offensively early in the game. See, this is the kind of game where they could really miss a guy like Collison.
Their All-American at point guard has a bruised knee and is still a week or two away, although he has looked spry when he's exercised during practices. He has not practiced with the team, and acting as a cheerleader on the bench during games, he's looked pretty good as well, but he's not ready to play yet.
Our guy Andy Katz told me he was working out today, and who was in the workout room? Collison. He said he looked phenomenal on the bicycle.
Meanwhile, Neitzel not feeling well at all. Woke up this morning feeling terribly. He has been sick all day, unable to keep food down, but they hope he's going to play tonight. Suton, Gray, and Ship got a hand on that. The arrow keeps it at this end of the floor.
Michigan State doing a good job recognizing the double team and bringing the ball away from the double team.
Michigan State started slowly this season, and by that I mean exhibition season. Lost to Grand Valley State, struggled to beat Michigan Tech, but then got healthy against Chicago State and Louisiana Monroe. Had a difficult game against Missouri last night, hanging on to win by 3.
That was a good win to beat Missouri here with 18,000 going bananas.
Missouri, by the way, beat Maryland in the third-place game here earlier tonight.
Westbrook's going to have to be effective tonight because Michigan State really prides itself with its defensive effort. You know, UCLA, the only school that stayed in their way the last 2 years from a national title, the Gators of Florida. The Gators of Florida beat them in a national title game, beat them in the semifinal.
A turnover by UCLA. They are scoreless 3 minutes and 40 seconds in. And it'll stay with the Michigan State as Kevin Love is coming back into the game for the Bruins. They got the bloody nose taken care of, and the freshman is back in.
I think the big thing Ben Holland has done at UCLA, he has brought back the sense of pride in those 4 letters. He really has done a phenomenal job recruiting.
Chris Allen, the sharpshooting freshman from Lawrenceville, Georgia, and a timeout taken by Ben Holland early with Michigan State leading 6-0 early over the #1 team in the nation.
Welcome to ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's.
And back inside the Sprint Center in Kansas City, a good start for the Michigan State Spartans. UCLA has not scored yet, better than 4 minutes into the game. Doris Burke is standing by with Ben Howland's point of emphasis for his team this morning at the walkthrough.
Yeah, before shoot-around, he gathered his troops and he said, gentlemen, this is going to be fast and physical. Michigan State is going to try to outwork us, out-physical us and out-will us. He said, make no mistake. Tonight, it's about our toughness, gentlemen. We'll see how they respond.
Now, you go back a few years, Doris, when Van Halen was coaching at Pittsburgh. He looked at a ton of Tom Izzo game tape, really loved how physical they were, and put a lot of Tom Izzo stuff into the Pittsburgh program. He's brought some of that with him to UCLA. There is a ton of professional respect between Ben Howland, and you saw the great record he has at UCLA, and Tom Izzo.
What a terrific job he did at Pittsburgh. Jamie Dixon has followed his assistant. He beat Jamie last year in the NCAA tournament, then beat Kansas to get to the Final Four. Monterreal is called for the foul. He's got a great recruiting class coming in. Some people say the best in America, led by a kid by the name of Drew Holiday, Malcolm Lee, a terrific class. They're getting better and better. People want to wear that uniform. Right now, he'd like to get his team this year whole. They've got some injuries. Love with a blocked shot on the attempt by Lucas. Darren Collison is out. Michael Roll, a good shooter, is out. And James Keefe, a 6'8 forward, is out. And Roll and Collison probably closer, but still, it looks a couple of weeks away. And look at this futility, 0 for 7. 3 turnovers for UCLA. Make it 0 for 8. They're going to get some touches to Love inside. Lucas, he just had no idea Shipp was behind him, and then he compounds his mistake by committing a foul. You know, UCLA struggling right now. You got to go inside, outside. You got to bring the ball into Love. Time now for a SportsCenter 30 at 30. Here's Pam Ward.
All right, Dan. Jimmy Rollins is the National League's MVP. He helped the Phillies reach the playoffs for the first time since 1993. Led the National League in runs and triples and edged out Matt Holliday. Michael Vick has been ordered, or actually they will freeze over $900,000 of his assets to maintain 53 pit bulls that were seized by federal agents at his estate. SportsCenter comes your way 11:30 Eastern on ESPN.
All right, Pam, thank you. The foul on Goran Suton. More than 5 minutes in, Dick, at UCLA, still without a point.
They went to the zone now, Michigan State. 2-3 zone. Tries to get the gap and attack it. There's the outlet. They're really pushing the ball up the court more this year, Michigan State.
Yeah, with those 3 freshmen on the perimeter as Morgan is fouled. And Shipp wants to know where the contact was. So does Ben Howland.
You know, early in the game, and I think Ben would agree with this, the tempo and the aggressiveness, the edge has to go to Michigan State. They really seem to be playing with a little bit more fire.
And again, the point that Doris made cannot be stated enough. Ben Howland talked constantly at the walkthrough this morning. They're going to be tough. They're going to be physical. They're going to hit you. You've got to be tough to play Michigan State. And Drew Neitzel is going to check into the game a stomach virus, knocking him on his side all day long. Spent the whole day in the hotel, did not practice, has not been able to keep any food down, enters the game.
I told you, watching his mother sitting in the crowd in the first game, smile on the face. Question was, will he play? I said he will play. Just look at Mom. Mom tells it all. Mother tells it all. There she is. I mean, she's got the smile. She knows my guy's out there now. She was smiling before the game. I knew that he would play today. And I'll tell you this. Before you assess and evaluate UCLA, watch them when Mr. Collison is in the lineup.
Right now, they only have 8 healthy scholarship players. They've got 3 injuries. Shipp glides into the basket, draws the foul, and banks it home.
You know, you're talking about great wing players. You and I saw a terrific wing player when we saw Chris Douglas Roberts. Shipp's right up there. Shipp is a terrific wing player. Has explosiveness. He used the screen well. He's strong. He can shoot.
The foul is on Suton, his second. He'll sit down. Gray will come back in. Shipp had 18 points in the win over Maryland last night. And again, with the departure of Aaron Aflalo to the NBA, now Shipp appears to be 100% healthy. They've got their fingers crossed in Westwood that both hips are okay. Shipp is going to be a major, major factor for the Bruins this year.
Especially when he plays with Collison, their quickness to get out in transition. In fact, the last time these teams played was back on December 21st, 2004. That game was won by Michigan State and East Lansing. Shipp had 18 in that game. Paul Davis had 23 for Michigan State.
Namath called for the foul, but Tom Izzo's got a lot of big bodies. Namath, Gray, Suton, Edon, Ibach, and he may use all of those fouls because they're going to play very physically against UCLA.
Special situations, they go on the out of bounds to a 2-3 zone, come out of their man-to-man. They got to get Love into a seam somewhere, slide him into a seam, and dump the ball into him. Right there. I should have had the ball. The art of feeding the post is almost lost.
Inside 10 on the shot clock. Now they find him. He tried to go up. He wants the foul call. Was surrounded by 3 Michigan State players, and they play on.
Knightson was so effective early in the game last night. Had a big first half. Then he made a clutch shot late in the game when they needed a big basket. He had not scored in the second half, and then made a big three. Look at the right side. Trying to deny him the ball. Oh, there's the bump. There's the bump. The kid was right. He got bumped. But he's going to have to learn. When you're big and you're a star, a lot of times people will allow to push you, grab you.
Well, this
is how Shaquille O'Neal and people.
This is way different than high school and way different than most of the teams they have faced early on this season. This is as good a physical test as there's Namath called for his second. So the second Michigan State big guy to pick up 2 fouls already. Hey, Feast Week presented by Lowe's continues Thursday night with doubleheader action here on ESPN2 at 9 o'clock Eastern, the Old Spice Classic. You can see Michael Beasley, what numbers he's put up for Kansas State as they take on George Mason. And then at midnight Eastern, the Anaheim Classic, another one of the great freshmen in the land, O.J. Mayo and USC taking on San Diego.
My friends, you're seeing a treat. 2 absolute superstars. One averaging 30, Beasley, and the other averaging about 28, Mr. Mayo.
Love with the offensive rebound, misses the putback, and we've got a foul on UCLA.
I tell you, freshmen are dominating college basketball. They play so much AAU competition, all the different tournaments. Take a look at these numbers right here. Unbelievable by these young kids. Just incredible. Big news down in Southern Cal is the return of Daniel Hackett. Had a triple-double in their win over South Carolina. What a battle that's going to be.
Oh, yeah.
UCLA and Southern Cal.
Namath has gone out, but apparently just has 1 foul, according to what we're being told. That 2 fouls ago, it was on Lucas. How about Allen, not just a standstill shooter?
Hey, those freshmen are going to be big time. Lucas and Allen. They're going to buy into the system at time is old place. Physical, tough defense.
Edong Ibok now defending Love, the 3rd different player, maybe the 4th, to already guard Love. And Ibok's strength is shot blocking.
Yeah, he's a great shot blocker.
With a 7'5" wingspan. And Bamute being harassed.
UCLA really struggling offensively. Can't get any rhythm.
Love might have gotten away with the travel, but instead he puts it on the floor and banks it home.
That's a big-time move. Big-time move. Face the basket, goes in a triple threat position. You know, we use the term fundamentally solid so often, but it definitely applies to Love.
First points of the night for Love. UCLA down 6. And a travel on Summers.
I got a love fest for Love.
You're not the only one. Everybody in L.A. is excited. Every UCLA fan's got a love fest for Love.
And all the Beach Boys love him, too, because his uncle's a member of the Beach Boys.
Mike Love.
There's the drive. I love the Beach Boys music. Are you kidding me? I can start dancing right now.
The big guy can shoot. He can pass. He can dribble. He can rebound. You heard and read a lot about him. Has he lived up to what you had heard and read about?
Absolutely. As solid as what I had heard.
Nikola Dragovic into the game. Contact between Ibok and Love. Boy, what a battle on the inside. And finally, Brian Kersey says enough is enough. And Ibok picks up a foul.
Dragovic capable of making shots from the perimeter.
Kevin Love's going to get banged up tonight.
Oh, you can't throw him like that. That's an obvious foul. That's an obvious foul.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts at better prices every day. And Sprint. The O'Reilly Auto Parts CBE Classic is rated for sprint speed. Sprint. And Hyundai. Now there are more reasons than ever to check out the new Hyundai Azera.
This ESPN2 telecast is available in stunning high definition on ESPN2 HD, presented by Olivia. I know Dick and I both enjoyed our time of the National Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame, just next door to this building. In the last couple of days, Michigan State leading UCLA 10-4. Feast Week presented by Lowe's. And here's the preseason media poll. No surprise that UCLA is number one. Let's break down the rest of the top half of the league for us.
Well, you talk about that conference. I think it's going to be the toughest. You know, we hear for often we never give them respect. Well, I'm telling you now, you're Uno number one. Prove me right. I think it's the toughest, the deepest conference. I think there's 7 legitimate teams that are going to have a great opportunity to get to the big dance. And it's going to be a battle up on top. I mean, Southern Cal, not listed there, has gotten better and better. With Hackett now, Tim Floyd has that special winner's mentality. I really think the conference is going to be dynamite.
Kevin Love to the line for UCLA as Ben Howland looks on. Drew Neitzel remains in the game for Michigan State.
The one thing I'll miss, though, is getting Ludoson back on that sideline. He means so much to college basketball, and we wish him the best as he had a few personal problems that he's decided. The good news is all indications are, I'm talking to Kevin O'Neill, it is not a health issue. So that we say, and Lou, may you work out your problems. We need you back. You're a genuine Hall of Famer.
A big night last night for Love against Maryland. Found out in the first 2 minutes tonight how physical this game was going to be when he was sent to the bench with a bloody nose. And already 3 Michigan State defenders have committed 4 fouls against Kevin Love.
It's been a half-court game, basically. Very difficult to get these clubs to go up and down the floor because they're so good.
Drew Neitzel for 3.
I told you during the break, I said Neitzel was shooting the ball well in the warm-up. And I'm telling you now, that stomach flu, forget about it. He's ready to play.
First team All Big Ten last year. Big Ten preseason player of the year this year.
You know, last year would have probably had a great shot except for the play of Orlando Tucker from out of Wisconsin.
Another foul on Ebok and another update from Doris Burke.
Well, guys, about Drew Neitzel, before tonight, everybody always questioning him. Is he good enough to be the Mr. Basketball in Michigan? The answer was yes. Could he compete at the major college level? The answer absolutely yes. And could he contribute tonight? He already has, guys.
Hey, let me just say this. You know, I knew he was going to be a player immediately when Mr. Garfinkel, a 5-star fan, when Howard Garfinkel or Sonny Vaccaro tell me a kid can play, they can play. Those guys know basketball. They're gym rats. They love it. They love the kids. And they really are usually accurate.
Free throws nice and early this half for UCLA. That's already the 8th team foul at Michigan State. Neitzel goes out. The foul was the 2nd on Ebok.
You know, he's got real nice touch for the best big guy in many a year at UCLA. But let me tell you, I said it last night and I'll say it again. UCLA, John Wooden, you've been so proud listening to Bill Walton talk about Kareem as Kareem was getting inducted in the Hall of Fame. They did UCLA very proud, proving that they made the transition from the uniform to the real world.
Kalen Lucas all the way inside, misses the layup, and the rebound to Monterreal, who throws it away. Talk about your unforced error.
He's a tough kid, though. Plays very hard. Shows you that the team concept's so important. Last year, he was the starter in the post.
Yep.
But with the arrival of Love, the diaper dandy, he's been coming off the bench.
Had a 14-point, 14-rebound game a little bit earlier this season off the bench. He's a blue-collar guy, Monterreal.
Well, you need those kind of guys to win. That's what makes them special.
Ebok, not really an offensive player, just looking to get that ball out of there. Off to Travis Walton. He's got a wristband. You can see a sweatband on his right wrist, which is covering up a bandage he's got. He suffered a sprained wrist taking a charge last night. Another floater goes down for Chris Allen.
I tell you, Chris Allen can score. We know he can shoot the 3. He's got the mid-range shot. I'll tell you, early in this game, tempo really is being controlled by Michigan State. You have not seen one fast break opportunity out of UCLA.
Ship being hounded by Walton. Again, a terrific defender.
Another great asset for Love is his passing ability. He can really pass the basketball.
Westbrook with all kinds of athleticism, but blocked by Gray and or Ebok, and Westbrook is down. Jumper at the other end for Lucas. Westbrook, who is filling in for the injured Collison, is holding his knee.
That would be a major, major loss, especially with the situation with Collison.
Well, that's a good sign as he bends it and straightens it out again.
Takes the drive, defense rotates over. Ebok or Gray, you can say. Both guys attack the ball. Full ball, too. Great block.
Landed awkwardly. You could see how his left leg got caught underneath his body.
He looks okay.
Yeah, he's jogging. He's trying to run off the court. Slowed down a little bit as he got closer to the bench. But now he was filling in as the point guard for Darren Collison, who's got a bruised knee and appears to be still a couple of weeks away. So now who handles the basketball? What
a terrific kid Collison is. That's the big question right now. Now they go to the perimeter. I mean, Ship's going to have to do a little handling as well. I mean, they're playing also without Michael Rowe, who can handle and shoot the ball. People don't talk enough about him as a complimentary player who can stretch the defenses. We'll get a better indication no matter what happens here tonight. This UCLA club will be one of the elite teams in America when they're healthy.
Westbrook trying to work out the pain in that left knee, the same knee that Darren Collison injured a couple of weeks ago. And Collison, again, going through a lot of exercises. Didn't go through the full practice, but he has worked out. And if you didn't know he was hurt, you would look at him and say, boy, the kid looks pretty good, but he's not ready to play yet.
Well, you know, injuries have really dominated college basketball already early this year. Did you see the contact and twisted that knee? Think about, for example, Alabama gets beat the other day by Belmont, but they're playing a whole year now without Ronald Steele, who would be one of the elite point guards in America. Think about the tough luck for Louisville, and my heart goes out to David Padgett. He's had so many injuries. Now word is that he's going to be out the entire year for Louisville. That's a major, major loss. I mean, there's been so many kids. Palacios is out there at Louisville as well.
How about Westbrook staying in the game, Dick?
How about Collins also at Kansas out?
Jerome Collins, broken bone in his foot, out 6 weeks. Westbrook's going to play through some pain to stay in this game. They need him. Luc Richard Mbah-a-Moute and a travel. Boy, the size and physicality of the big players for Michigan State really bothering the Bruins. Hey, the Dick's Sporting Goods NIT season tip-off, all a part of Feast Week presented by Lowe's, is on ESPN2 tomorrow night with a doubleheader. Washington and Texas A&M at 7 Eastern. Syracuse and Ohio State, each with some great freshmen, in the second game at 9 Eastern.
Well, Johnny Flynn, Dante Green for Syracuse, and then Kostas Koufos. He is special down there at Buckeye Land.
Neitzel now with Ship defending him. Off to Kalen Lucas. Lucas is jet quick. Look at that.
They'll split the defense.
Misses the jumper. Ebok with a rebound and dribbles it out of there.
That's one of the great assets of Michigan State, rebounding ability. They've out-rebounded their opponents thus far this year by better than 20, a plus 20 advantage.
And every single year among the leaders in the conference, if not the country.
Thinking of some battles this year, you look at that Indiana team with DJ White in the inside. Eric Gordon is sensational. Might be the best guard in Indiana since Isaiah Thomas.
Little hesitation by Neitzel. Misses the jumper. Long rebound to Westbrook. And Lucas committed the foul. And he knew it right away. That'll be number 2 on Kalen Lucas.
UCLA's got to figure a way to get some easy baskets against Tom Izzo's club. 4 years in a row, had taken them at one spurt to the Final Four, won the national championship in 2000, beat Florida, the Gators.
Love back into the game. Tom Izzo very unhappy with Lucas after that foul, telling him to get back. Don't reach in. Get back on defense.
You know, Travis Walton started well last year and one of the best on-the-ball defenders in America. Really has accepted that role, and that shows you it's all about the team. But I think about the guys that started last year that now are coming off the bench. Shire at Duke, Flowers at Wisconsin, Eaton at Oklahoma State, Temple at LSU, Kemp at Memphis. And when you get guys like that coming off the bench, you have some quality performance.
Well, Tom Izzo and Travis Walton decided together that Walton should come off the bench this year. Lucas would start so that the 3 freshmen wouldn't all play together on the second unit. You know what Tom Izzo said? He said, hey, we had a guy named Morris Peterson, who came off the bench and made first team All Big Ten. How's that?
And now he's running the bank, going ching-a-ling-ching, making all kinds of cash in the NBA. If you can't play in the NBA, you make $3-4 million a year. If you can't play, I mean, if you can play, I mean, you're making 10, 12, 14. And if you really can play, you get up in Kobe country.
Dragic called for the foul. Tom Izzo has taken his team to the NCAA tournament 10 consecutive years. They've won 4 Big Ten titles, 4 Final Fours, 1 national championship, an outstanding resume for both of these coaches. Strong offensive rebound by Ebok, but he missed the chippy. They get it back, though.
There's that rebound, and again, giving him a second opportunity.
And it pays off from the perimeter. Raymar Morgan for 3.
Do you notice unbelievable confidence in Morgan this year versus last year. He was like, he had an injury last year.
Had a stress fracture in his shin. He came back from it, but it wasn't quite the same. Love got it back.
Nice fake.
And
Great
one.
fake.
Morgan the foul, Love to the line.
Terrific ability in catching the ball, sealing the defense off, and converting. You know, you mentioned the NBA. One of the best things happening to the NBA is that they got Dan Schumann now calling some of their games.
Thank you very much, my friend. One of the best things to happen to UCLA in a while. Kevin Love deciding to go there. A Duke update from Maui when we come back.
Let's check in on Duke taking on Illinois in Maui. Gerald Henderson gonna get the ball at the other end of the court for Duke and dunk it home thusly. Duke up 10 in the second half. And Oregon playing at St. Mary's. Ian O'Leary for St. Mary's. He is not going to hit this three, but Diamond Simpson is there to put it right back in. St. Mary's leading at the half over Oregon. Guys?
So maybe an upset brewing there, but let's go back to that dunk by Gerald Henderson out at Maui. He, along with a guy in this game, Raymar Morgan, two of the sophomores you think are ready for breakout seasons.
Yeah, they're getting me some ink kind of team. Get them some publicity. They don't get much. We talk about South. You hear all about Chase Buttinger and company, and they deserve publicity, but these kids do too. Morgan Clark's going to be big at Louisville. Spates is going to be certainly special. Henderson and Hackett. I think they're all going to have breakout years. We have so many great super Souths. You think about the backcourt, we'll see down there in Vegas when we watch Ty Lawson and Ellington. You think about Buttinger. There are a lot of terrific second-year players.
Kevin Love's going to get a chance to work on his free throw shooting tonight if the early foul situation is any indication.
Look at these ball domes they're showing. That's not fair. That's not fair. They're showing our ball domes. That's not fair.
They got a clear view of the play, though. Mbamute is called for the foul. Love frustrated he missed the front end. How about this? Gray has committed 2 fouls. Namick has committed 2 fouls. Ebok has committed 2 fouls. They get a lot of big guys, and they're going to use up a lot of fouls tonight trying to guard Kevin Love.
Yeah, see, that's what Love, that's another part of his game that you don't see statistically, but is so valuable getting people in foul trouble.
The lob for Morgan. And Morgan, as they go small, he's playing power forward right now. Ben Howland's not going to be happy. Doris, you were there earlier today. They were working on defending that play at shoot-around. And Ben Howland cannot be happy with his team's execution so far tonight.
Yeah, he said anytime there's a 2-guard front where Raymar is up top, it's going to be a lob back door. They clearly worked on it. Just dodged a bullet there, gentlemen.
Yeah, they really did dodge it, Doris, and I know you're right on top of it. I'll tell you, UCLA's going to have a tough matchup also when they play Davidson. Now, people say Davidson. People that know basketball know how special they are. Challenged certainly North Carolina early this year. They play also, UCLA plays Texas. They play Michigan in a non-league game. John Beilein doesn't have the personnel yet that will get him to where he wants to get, but he has a great freshman in Manny Harris.
And he'll win there. He's won everywhere else. Love knocks it down. That's the 10th team foul on Michigan State. 2 shots the rest of the way for UCLA. Love has 9 points. 9 of the 13 points for the Bruins.
See, the one thing UCLA's game changes its offensive scheme. With Collison, they become a little bit more up-tempo, and now they get easy layups.
Tough matchup here for Love. Morgan is much quicker than him, but he missed the jumper. Love, in effect, now playing power forward with Monterreal in the middle and Michigan State going smaller.
See, I think Westbrook's got enough quickness and athletic ability that he can put a little bit more pressure on Michigan State by pushing the ball up the floor.
Neitzel defending him. Again, Neitzel with a stomach virus, not feeling 100%. Good help there by Morgan. Michigan State's got the basketball.
They did a great job doubling down on Love. He didn't see the double team coming from the offside.
Morgan spins back and finishes.
That's why he's going to get me some ink team, baby. He's ready for that breakout year. They're going to love him up there up the his zones down at the Breslin Center. The Breslin Center is going to rock. Hey, by the way, best wishes for a speedy recovery to a terrific guy, Gus Ganakis, former coach at Michigan State.
A little under the weather, but he'll be back broadcasting for the Spartans before long.
Mr. Roberts talking about broadcasting does a great job for UCLA. Terrific job.
Three-point play, Raymar Morgan with Neitzel and Morgan and all the bulk in the middle and the three freshmen.
More physical.
Yeah, Tom Izzo says we're going to be more physical. We're going to run more. He thinks he's got the talent to go a long way this year.
I mean, the pressure right now is on UCLA executing at such a high level in their half-court game because they're getting nothing easy.
Gray defending Love. Morgan giving up size to Monterreal. Westbrook for three.
Great execution there in terms of patience. Westbrook hits the three. Not a great shooter, but a kid that's worked on improving his shooting ability.
You like the flaming mohawk? You like his do?
I like anybody's do, because I wish I had it too.
Your do is done.
My do is done.
Our do's are done. 23-16 Michigan State.
A lot of things are done with me.
Walton, a great leader, co-captain along with Neitzel, and Walton as a sophomore was the co-captain of the Spartans last year as well. Driving is Morgan. Following is Gray. Here come the Bruins.
See, Ship wants to run. He loves to get out in transition.
Monterreal. A size advantage. Left-handed hook shot. No, look at Love. And it's going to be UCLA ball. Number 1 UCLA, number 11 Michigan State in the championship game at the O'Reilly Auto Parts CBE Classic, all a part of Feast Week presented by Lowe's. Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale, Doris Burke inside the brand new and beautiful Sprint Center here in Kansas City. It's been about the bench. It's been about the physical play. And Michigan State has this game at the pace they want. It's their style of basketball right now.
It's been about the tempo. You're exactly right. Michigan State controlling tempo. There's the 2-3 zone on the inbounds from the baseline.
And as we mentioned, Tom Izzo wants to run more this year, but it looks like the game plan right out of the chute tonight, Dick, was make things as difficult and as physical for Kevin Love as possible. Allen is called for the foul. More great college basketball coming your way with the Dick's Sporting Goods NIT season tip-off. All a part of Feast Week presented by Lowe's. Tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, Washington, Texas A&M. And then at 9 Eastern, Syracuse against Ohio State. And I know you think Ohio State is a team. Yeah, they lost a lot, but some great incoming players, and they're going to make some noise this year.
Well, Todd Bauer knows how to win. He knows how to really get the most out of people. I think also when you look at that game, Texas A&M's got a terrific freshman, DeAndre Jordan. Yeah. He's made 13 consecutive field goals. He could be good. And also Brockman's an outstanding player for Lorenzo Romar in Washington.
And Baamute misses the free throw. Aboya is going to come back in. Love has gone to the bench again. Luc Richard and Baamute, like Alfred Aboya, both from Cameroon, both played for their country's national team in the summer. And now Baamute is going to come out, and Chase Standback will check in. A 6'8 freshman from Fairfax High in L.A., the same high school Josh Shipp went to. So Ben Howland, who's not very deep, he's had to use all of his depth tonight.
They like Standback's athletic ability. They think once he gets stronger physically, he'll be a positive contributor on their program. There's that good man-to-man defense, all in good help position.
And Shipp, who went to the bench, my bad, not in Baamute for Standback. Now Darrell Summers drives the baseline, and the third member of that heralded Michigan State freshman class is on the board.
Summers a great athlete. Some people say the best athlete since they had Jason Richardson, and that's saying a great deal. Talk about his athletic ability, the quickness of Lucas, and the shooting ability of Allen, the three diaper dandies.
You saw the field goal numbers, 4 for 18 for UCLA.
Wow. That's a tribute to two things. One, UCLA not executing efficiently, but also the defensive ability of Michigan State.
Monterey out of the shot clock at 7, loses it. Westbrook has it. Clean block. And Michigan State's got the ball.
I ask you one simple question. I know it's only exhibition, but how does Grand Valley State beat Michigan State? Are you thinking they're saying right now, we could be UCLA, we could be UCLA?
8-point lead for the Spartans. Well, Pam, what a night for Eric Gordon. Yet another talented freshman with yet another big night. Indiana, by the way, will host Georgia Tech as part of the Big Ten ACC Challenge 1 week from tonight and tomorrow night, one of the great events in the season.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. Many people are telling me that Eric Gordon's the best guard at Indiana since Isaiah Thomas.
Wow.
Now, if he can be half that good, and obviously he is, that is saying a great deal. I'm telling you, the kid is explosive. He can score. Georgia Tech, and Paul, you would have a nice win over Notre Dame, has to devise a game plan to neutralize Gordon. They also have DJ White inside, who's tough as hell.
Morgan the miss. Gray hanging on the rim looking for the rebound, and a foul called on Love, I believe. Kevin Love, another one of the great freshmen, with 9 points, 7 rebounds, but having to work hard for every ounce of that. Now, if you hang on the rim, you can get a technical
foul,
unless
you're trying to protect yourself.
Trying to protect yourself or somebody else from injury, and there was somebody underneath Gray, so that's well within the rules. And to the line goes Darrell Summers, 6'4" freshman out of Detroit.
Tell you, Summers a terrific athlete. You watch him in a warm-up, great bounce off the floor. I tell you, Detroit gets some great athletes, and I'm telling you this: had I been coaching the University of Detroit, Tom Izzo doesn't get in the city. I wouldn't let him in the city. Let him stay in Lansing. There's no way in the world I'd let him in there.
So much great basketball talent coming out of the state of Michigan.
Tom does such a great job in terms of charities, helping to battle against cancer. He and his beautiful bride, Lupe. I know whenever I call upon him to, as you know, when you emceed our big gala, we raised $1.3 million. Another one, Krzyzewski, for the V Foundation. Tom was right there, lending a helping hand.
Shipp looking to get on track tonight. A little room on the baseline, yes.
They got to get Josh Shipp some transition baskets. That's where he excels. He's got such speed and quickness, explosiveness.
Second field goal of the night for Shipp. An 8-point deficit for the #1 team in the nation. Nice lob.
Oh, execution. Up and away. Little high, low. There's the jam. Terrific execution in a half court. And look at him. Lifts him up defensively. Gets him a little pumped up.
Marquise Gray from Raymar Morgan.
You know, Gray really struggled toward the end of last year, then came on big in the NCAA tournament. They lost to North Carolina second round after beating his buddy Tom Crean, one of his former assistants, in the first round. There's the high-low. UCLA broke down, no communication. They don't switch, they don't communicate. Communication is so important. See, Love got caught not communicating. Oh, look at him, show the Michael
Jordan there.
Michael Jordan. Yeah. Hey, Michael, please send an autograph to Rick Scruggs, the coach of Gardner-Webb. Wants his autograph badly. They know he's a Maui.
Because his son is a walk-on at Illinois.
His son Jeff is on the Illinois team, played 11 minutes last night.
Here's the 5th big guy in Tom Izzo's stable to come in. This is a 7-footer, Tom Herzog, a redshirt freshman out of Flint, Michigan. They redshirted him so he could put a little weight on, get stronger. He's gone from 215 to 230. A guy that Tom Izzo says eats and lifts and just can't gain a whole lot of weight.
Mike Bray really recruited him hard. In fact, Mike got his teammate Jackson is playing at Notre Dame. Herzog's a kid that they're hoping.
Well, what about the incoming class that Tom Izzo's got next year?
He has a great class. There's no question. I think the big pick when he got the kid from out of Lakewood, Ohio, there he is, Delvin Rowe. Certainly Super, Lucius, and Green from out of Saginaw. Saginaw produces so many outstanding players. But uno number 1, according to many, is going to be the class in Westwood. One of the beautiful, beautiful campuses in America.
Summers at the line. He and Allen. 2 of the 3 freshmen for the Spartans in the game right now. And Tom Izzo, as you said, great coach, great recruiter, works his tail off to get people. But a great story about Chris Allen. He's from Georgia, Lawrenceville, Georgia. You're saying, how does a Georgia kid go to Michigan State?
Well, he has some relatives in Lansing.
His uncle and aunt live in Lansing on the same street as Magic Johnson's parents.
Wow.
And so Chris Allen would go up to Lansing to visit family.
And then walk around hoping Magic was there.
And became a Michigan State fan. And Tom Izzo said, you know what, every now and again you get lucky.
See, Magic again, one of the great guys. I told people this, if I could pick one player that if I would have had a choice to want to coach, it'd be Magic. Only because, number 1, he's a winner. Number 2, he loves to play. He's so team-oriented.
Love, Herzog and Gray both defending him. And it will stay at this end of the floor. Well, 31-19 lead for Michigan State, despite the fact that their All-America candidate Drew Neitzel didn't start, bothered by a stomach virus, has not played all that much. Travis Walton with a sprained right wrist. Neither one at 100%, yet Michigan State's got a 12-point lead on the Bruins. How have they done it?
Well, let me tell you, they've done a great defense. They've done it by controlling tempo. But I will say this for Ben Holland. Ben knows his team's going to get better and better once they get certainly Collison. I mean, you're looking forward to that. That's like putting an engine in your car.
Mbamute, a contested jump shot that wound up an air ball. Now a turnover by Summers. Back comes UCLA. A rare chance to run, but an errant pass slows him down. Ship misses the three. And tumbling to the ground is Drew Neitzel, who is also called for the foul.
See, what Collison does to them, it's like having that beautiful Rolls Royce, but not having an engine in it. He comes out, he gives them that spark, that quickness, the explosiveness. There's a look at Darren. You know he's dying to play.
Dick, there have been 23 fouls called in the first half. 9 on UCLA, 14 on Michigan State. But again, most of the Michigan State fouls are on the big guys, and they've got a ton of big guys they can rotate in and out.
Well, we're not shocked by the foul situation because both clubs very physical, tenacious. They reflect the philosophies of their coaches.
Boya knocks down the first.
You know, UCLA's got 10 players now in the NBA. They got Ariza coming back home. He got traded to the Lakers today from Orlando.
Jordan Farmar, a UCLA guy on the Lakers, and a guy who has visited with the UCLA program. And Ben Howland got a chance to watch Aaron Aflalo and the Pistons play in LA against Jordan Farmar and the Lakers. What a proud moment for a head coach. And Farmar took over the game and helped the Lakers win late.
Farmar's playing really well. Aflalo will not get a lot of minutes because of their club.
Herzog from Walton.
They're really breaking down defensively. They are not communicating. The strength of UCLA is their defense. And if their defense breaks down, especially without their offense going with Collison out, they really are going to struggle.
Herzog, the 5th different Spartan to try and defend Love tonight. It won't go down for Westbrook.
Tell you, remember last night, though, Tom Izzo's club had a 16-point lead, and Missouri nearly caught him.
Nearing the final minute of the first half. Is this surprising for you that Michigan State is up this much?
Well, this much, yes. I thought it was going to be a nail-biter, even without Collison. I think Tom Izzo's got to be really pleased with the way they've executed.
Gray called for the travel.
Watch right now. They'll show him how he slips off that screen. They do such a great job of executing. Slides off the screen and there's no communication. And Herzog gets a basket. That's going to build his confidence. He'll go to bed at night, tell everybody how he dunked, how he scored. It'll be, you know, he'll take it to another level. 10 years from now, we'll talk about how he did it over Jabbar and over Walton.
That's the Bruins worrying so much about Neitzel. Both defenders chase Neitzel, who wound up being a decoy on the play. Love with the offensive rebound. And he finishes strong.
Well, he had to really work for that deuce. He's having a tough time getting any touches at all on the interior. Michigan State has done a sensational job defensively. They're blocking out.
And they can hold for the final possession of the half.
They have control. We talk about in basketball so often, tempo. This is a perfect example of really controlling the tempo and the flow of a game.
Tom Izzo will use a timeout with 16 seconds to go. You think you had a rough night? Let's look at what Kevin Love has gone through physically since this game began.
He's taking some pounding on the inside. Look at this here. I mean, come on now. You can't touch the kid like that. On the inside, look at this. Doubling him up. Wow, contact on the nose. Little blood comes out. Gets the ball inside. 2 guys attack him. I mean, he'll earn his scholarship tonight.
What a tough night for Kevin Love. He's got 5 free throws out of 7 that he's been at the line. 3 field goals, 8 rebounds, but he has had to fight tooth and nail for every inch of territory down near the bucket.
I'll tell you, feast week, unbelievable. Tonight's my 8th game, and yours in 4 or 5 days. Get a chance to rest the throat.
There you go.
Get a rest for a few days.
You'll be just
I want to
fine.
say I'm sorry to everybody out there, but I really feel very bad. But I'm trying like heck to do the best I can.
Hey, Love got a bloody nose. Neitzel's got a stomach virus. You got 8 games in 6 days. You go to the post, right? If you're not 100%, you go to the post.
Got to push out.
Neitzel, and he's fouled.
That's a silly foul right there.
Three free
on the
throws.
clock. Give him 3 free throws, and he's the best free throw shooter. One of the best in America, and certainly the best maybe in the Big Ten. Take a look right here. Are UCLA going to challenge him from the side?
Westbrook
Gets the contact. Westbrook, an athlete. This has not been UCLA vintage basketball in the first half.
A quiet half. You would think the illness has something to do with it. Limited minutes for Neitzel.
I got a feeling, though, we're going to see a spark out of UCLA start in the second half. I don't know if enough to overcome Michigan State, but I'll tell you what, they have a run in them. There's no doubt. Ben Holland's too good a coach. He's done too great a job, and they got too many good players. Even without Collison, they have too many good players. What a job he has done at UCLA. Amazing. And it's only going to get better and better and better. Lee and Holiday and all those terrific recruits arrive.
Neitzel makes all three.
Not bad for a kid that's been sick.
Couldn't get out of bed, can't keep any food down, didn't practice today. Ship from about 25 feet away. And it'll count.
Good offensive rebound.
Alfred Aboya just ahead of the horn with a big bucket for the Bruins.
Yes, sir. Aboya got on the interior. Good rebound by Aboya. Ship wishes they could start to run. There's the jump shot. Now Aboya's going to work on the glass. Here he is, comes up with the offensive rebound, lays it on the glass, and he beats the clock. Beats the clock.
So it's an 11-point lead for Michigan State. Tom Izzo standing by with Doris Burke.
Coach, what did you like about the way your guys approached that half?
Well, I did think we battled them, even though they really hurt us early on it. I thought we did a great job defensively. The rebounding has hurt us a little bit. Their offensive rebounding, but they got a lot of players and we got a lot of guys in foul trouble.
Your expectation for their adjustments in the second half?
Well, I think they're going to come at us a little bit more. They've been kind of passive, I thought, on the perimeter. I thought they're going to come at us a little bit more with those shooters, especially Ship.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
All right, thank you, Doris. An 11-point lead. Michigan State executing very well. Marquise Gray with a jam. Let's go to Pam Ward in the studio for the Dick's Sporting Goods halftime report.
Thank you, Dan, and welcome to the Dick's Sporting Goods halftime report. UCLA, the #1 team in the country, down at the half. Pleased to be joined by Tom Brennan and Doug Gottlieb. UCLA beat Maryland yesterday, even though they only shot 37%. They're not shooting well today, but of course they don't have their point guard.
And really, it's very evident, Pam. Russell Westbrook is taking over for Collison. He's really struggled really in the first half. He made 1 3, but the idea that he made a really bad foul 11 seconds ago at the end of the half. And obviously, he's not Collison. He's kind of the same type of player, but certainly doesn't have the skill level. Here he loses the ball, and, again, another turnover. Going to the basket, he gets his shot blocked here.
Let's also remember that this is, you're in a different part of the learning curve when you're UCLA. Michigan State returns all 5 starters and brings in some freshmen, but the freshmen are playing bit parts. Whereas UCLA, on the other hand, their freshman is their best player, and you're playing without 2 starters. Mike Roll also out for UCLA. So it's vastly different as far as the learning curve. Right now, I think this is probably the best thing to happen to Ben Howland. Every message he's been telling his team, you're not that good, don't believe the ratings. You want to get punched in the nose, you want to see how your kids react. And right now, they're not reacting well, but again, doing it without the rudder to their ship.
And 7 baskets in the first half for the #1 team in the country. That's just not enough.
That's not going to get it done, and the main reason why they are losing right now. The other #1 team.
Well, Michigan State has been in the game from the outset tonight, leading the #1 team in the nation, or one of the #1s. They're co-#1 with North Carolina by 11 here with the O'Reilly Auto Parts CBE Classic Championship game in Kansas City. Kevin Love has had to work so hard for his 11 points and 8 rebounds. He has been defended by multiple Spartans all night long. It took him almost 6 minutes to score, and Michigan State getting great work off their bench. Really a team effort from the Spartans so far tonight. How does UCLA get back into it?
Well, I think they'll get back in the game because I think that they'll get some entries into Love who can kick the the ball out. Ship can make the three. I look for UCLA to execute a lot better and really try to push the ball up the court a little bit more and try to get a few more easy layups. I think we're going to see UCLA go on a little spurt. There's no way to me that club's going to roll over and go by. I really believe Ben Holland's probably got them fired up, and I think they're going to come out and Michigan State's going to get a big hit.
Well, Doris Burke talked to the UCLA coaches about adjustments for the second half. Doris?
Yeah, they talked about poor defense. They were really displeased with their inability to block out. They said we're late on our hedges, allowing Michigan State all kinds of freedom of movement. This is a club that was prepared, or supposed to be prepared for the physical nature. And Dick, no surprise, they go right inside.
And we have an injury to Michigan State. Travis Walton is hurt. He came in with a sprained wrist, but this does not appear to be a wrist as he goes down hard on the first play. Maybe an inadvertent knee-to-knee contact with Love.
Yeah, and Ship comes over, protects the ball really well. Defense rotates over, but he gets the conversion. Tough luck there for Walton. As you said, had a bad wrist coming into the game.
Walton, one of the emotional leaders of this team, a co-captain, and a guy who was getting more minutes tonight because Neitzel's got a stomach virus, but now Walton's going to have to come out, and Neitzel's going to check in. And good sign for Michigan State to see Walton able to walk it off.
I tell you, so many injuries in college basketball early this year. Teams are so physical. There's so much contact. So many key players have already gone down. As you watch Ship, see, I think he's the guy that's got to step up offensively. That's what I was saying at halftime. I really believe that he's going to elevate his game, and they're going to need it if they're going to get back in this game against Michigan State, who's playing so well.
We've got a lane violation.
Oh, you give him an extra opportunity. Yep. That can't please Tom Izzo right there. Got to let that ball make contact on that rim before you step in there. Tom Izzo says, come on now, give me a break.
He's saying both guys. He was saying there was a Bruin in early as well, and it cost Michigan State a point.
Could be big later in this game. We have not seen the vintage UCLA defense to be able to contain the execution of Michigan State.
Ship on Neitzel, and we'll see if Michigan State is able to get Neitzel open for some shots. Kalen Lucas, the freshman, at the point. And the foul on Aboya of UCLA.
Both clubs rely so much on execution, defensively on rotating. You don't see anything really spectacular up and down the floor. I know fans like to see that fast pace up and down. These clubs try to negate that.
Number 3 on Aboya. Monterreal takes over for him. Well, if you're a Michigan State supporter, you saw them play an up and down, hectic kind of a game against Missouri last night. Now they're in more of a half-court slugfest with UCLA tonight. Well, there's another foul, and it's always encouraging to see a team have to play different styles this early in the season.
Well, you know, good teams have to make that adjustment. We saw Memphis have to do that. Played Oklahoma in that physical half-court style, then had to go against Connecticut up and down the floor in transition. Connecticut, by the way, played tonight against Gardner-Webb.
Lucas knocks down the 10-footer.
See, that's special situations. Execution, out of the baseline, getting a high percentage shot. Lucas, I'll tell you one thing, he's going to be a very good point guard.
Tom Izzo's going to be happy with the work of Lucas, Allen, and Summers tonight, the 3 freshmen against a team as good as UCLA. Stolen by Goran Sutan.
Bad entry right there. Good denial by Sutan, who's been quiet offensively.
Oh, how does Neitzel get that wide open? Sutan the rebound, taken away by Ship.
Ship's got to push the ball. They got to push the ball more. Deep in an attacking mode.
He shakes Neitzel, and the jumper not there. Offensive rebound. Kevin Love, look at him create some space.
He's a big-time player. Forget about being a freshman. He's just a flat-out big-time player.
For Love, that is his 7th offensive rebound in this game already.
See, when you're rebounding offensively, that means you're playing aggressive basketball. A key denominator to tell if you're playing aggressive basketball: forced turnovers, block shots, and rebounds.
Beautiful play. Neitzel comes around the screen and gets open for 2.
He's ambidextrous. He can use either hand. See, I know more than one syllable.
A 10-point lead for the Spartans.
There's that big screen. I tell you about Love. Steps back from the screen.
He'll shoot the 3. He'll miss this one. Made one last night.
Has Love working on the offensive rebound. He's got that big, wide body, and yet he's so agile. He's mobile, he's agile, and he's not fragile.
And he's got great passing ability, which we have a chance to see for the first time tonight.
We saw that passing ability last night against the Maryland press. He looked right over the press.
Give and go between Neitzel and Gray, turns it over to the Bruins.
Love's got great passing skills. A la Bill Walton, when Walton played the post at UCLA, was a terrific passer. There's the great look at the ship. He looks right over the top of the defense with that great size. He has been schooled in every facet of how to play the game. Shooting, passing,
Dad played at Oregon.
Position.
Dad played pro ball.
First-round draft choice. Washington Bullets played at Oregon. Oh, he had an easy.
That's one of the easiest looks he's had tonight.
He nonchalanted that one. He had an easy opportunity. He knows it.
A couple of big nights here in Kansas City for the freshman Kevin Love.
He's got a quiet 16-9. Isn't it very quiet?
He's had to work awfully hard for it.
Really has.
He's going to sleep tonight.
He's young. He come back out and play another game.
Suton on the floor along with Namick up front for Michigan State. Suton had a big night last night in the win over Missouri. Lucas, he is something else when he finds that extra gear.
Well, he does a great job of splitting the defense. He really attacks. He splits the defense off the dribble with that change. And then a burst of speed. Watch him right here. He'll split the defense. See him split the two? A burst of speed. He must have been a terrific high school player. Hey, I'll tell you this. They say in the summer down by UCLA, so many NBA players gather to work out, and the UCLA kids, O.J. Mayo, Southern Cal, they all get together, and they say it's like a who's who of hoops, baby.
Monterreal sits down with number 3. Aboya, who's got 3, comes back in.
And I'll bet you Mr. Magic Johnson, about 50 years of age, can step out there right now and whoop them all.
Rebound Bruins. 9-point lead for the Spartans. Here in the O'Reilly Auto Parts CBE Classic at Kansas City. This is the championship game. Earlier, Missouri beat Maryland in the third-place game as Love throws it away this time.
Well, I didn't have the angle. The angle was very poor. In making that play, your angle really is so important.
Neitzel brings it up the floor. Lucas is still in there. Tried to split
that time. Couldn't get away with it that time. You know, that's like the first easy layup I can remember. I mean, my memory's not as good as yours because when you get to be 68 years of age, it's tough to remember things. But I can tell you, I don't remember another fast break opportunity.
I think you're right, and they're back within 7 early in the second half. Neitzel.
I told you they're going to lock it up defensively. A little pride.
They are stepping up the physical play to the level that the Spartans brought it to.
Oh, I got away with it. No, he finally called it a little bit late, but he called it. You know, earlier he got away with the split. This time they were ready for it. Now watch this. He tries to do it again. There's the deflection and the easy deuce.
Neitzel out, Allen in.
Chip says about time I got an easy one.
And Travis Walton is back as well as Lucas sits down. So the knee injury not too serious for Walton.
Travis Walton is probably as good as over the top. There's the lob, the jam.
Here comes the run. Love to Aboya. It's down to 5.
I told you we're going to see a run out of this club. Too much pride.
Westbrook the foul.
Too much pride in that jersey. This man has too much pride in himself.
Dick, take us to break. Alfred Aboya with a slam.
Well, it's Alfred Aboya up and away with a little jam on the lob. The Bruins are back. Get ready, Bruins and Michigan State.
Duke taking on Illinois right now, and Duke's about to wrap this up. Brian Zubek going to score for number 10 Blue Devils right there as he gets the missed shot and puts it in, waning seconds, and they will beat Illinois. And St. Mary's continuing to upset Oregon 78-68. Patrick Mills doing great things for St. Mary's as we go back to Dickey and Dan.
So it'll be Duke and Marquette in the championship game in Maui tomorrow night, 10 Eastern on ESPN. Here, Michigan State trying to pull off an upset, leading number 1 UCLA by 5 twice in the history of Michigan State basketball. have they beaten a number one. Last year against Wisconsin, and the other one, 1979, that famous title game, Magic Johnson and Michigan State over Larry Bird and Indiana State.
I tell you, it's hard to believe that Magic's pushing the 50 mark. Unbelievable. I remember as a teenager back in high school, he was such a superstar.
Allen the miss, and Shipp fouls Summers. It's already the 15th foul on UCLA here in the second half.
That was the game that really popularized college basketball. Started it really big time with television exposure, Larry Bird and Magic.
Walton inbounds to Summers. Neitzel is back on the bench. Walton at the point.
He has great leadership skills. He really knows how to direct the team.
Allen finds Namick, who throws up a wild right-handed hook.
Namick gets a little jump hook in the lane.
Fifth-year senior. All five of the big guys we've seen for Michigan State tonight, all redshirted. 2 because of injuries, 3 just as freshmen to get a little bit stronger and develop. Shipp on the drive, the feed to Love for 2 more.
What he does exceptionally well is protect the basketball. He really uses his body so well.
15 for Love. Bodies crashing to the floor as UCLA is called for an offensive foul against Michigan State.
And with his body, he's certainly going to fill it out.
The O'Reilly Auto Parts CBE Classic Championship game for the brand new Sprint Center here in Kansas City. Number 1 UCLA, number 11 Michigan State, along with Dick Vitale and Doris Burke. I'm Dan Schulman. Duke has defeated Illinois. They'll play Marquette in the championship game in Maui tomorrow night. Look at the bench scoring. It's a rout. That's one of the stories tonight. The other is how Michigan State is contesting every shot and just physically pounding on Kevin Love every time he touches the basketball.
Yeah, they've done a great job defensively. UCLA's elevated their defense a lot better here in the second half as well.
Here's Love, this time defended by Namick. He is the best post defender for the Spartans, and he forces Love into a travel.
Yeah, he lifted that pivot foot, but he protects the ball exceptionally well. They got to come up with some stops now.
Lucas back into the Spartans. Walton has gone to the bench now. It has been quiet tonight. Raymar Morgan has been quiet for most of the night for Michigan State.
They pop the ball loose. They're going to grab. They're going to hold
on Lucas. Number 3 on him.
He's getting a little dangerous with that ball. He's dribbling a little bit too much against the defensive pressure of UCLA. See, watch this right now. He's bouncing that ball a little bit too much. The 2 guys attack him. Not handling that trap well. You got to reverse the ball out of that trap.
Foul trouble accumulating now for Michigan State. Shipp inside, a block. I think it was Suton. Shipp got rid of it before hitting the floor. Otherwise, it would have been a travel.
Trying to use Love as the passer up on top to take advantage of his passing skills.
Love will go by Namath. Which way is it going to go? It'll be a block. The 2 officials looked at one another before Brian Kersey made the call.
I think they got it right. I definitely do. Even though the Midwestern flavor goes the other way. Hey, I would tell all you people, get over to this building. Watch this right here. Triple threat position. A little slow coming over. Get to this building and get to the college basketball experience and to the Hall of Fame. A salute to Jim Haney and the NABC, Reggie Mitten, all those people involved do a phenomenal job. And it's beautiful, honoring all the greats. College basketball.
Whether you like the history, whether you like the interactive elements of it, it really is a terrific spot. Let's go to more. Let's get more now about UCLA and Coach Ben Howland with Doris Burke.
Well, there was a report in the Los Angeles papers that Howland, when he signed his letter of intent, had tears streaming down his face. I asked Ben if that was true. If you know Ben, that's hard to believe. He said, absolutely not. But guys, if that's what it took to get him in a UCLA jersey, he was prepared to do it.
That's almost as much as Lefty Driesell and getting Tom McMillan. I told you the story about the library, the books, unbelievable. He said, Tom told him, you know, I might go to Duke or to Virginia. They got like 5,000. Look at that score inside. Great hanging in the air. It's the conversion. Great ball movement. I watch him reverse the ball out of the traffic. Bring it to the other side, hang in the air, draw the contact. Hey, the story with Lefty Driesell was amazing.
Yeah.
He told it when he was inducted in the Hall of Fame. He said Tom McMillan said to him in a recruiting trip, he said, Coach, I think I'm going to probably go to either Duke or Virginia. He said, why? He said, well, they got like 5 million and change books in their library. Maryland, you only got 2 million and change. He said, I'll tell you what, you read the 2,800,000 books, and I'll go out and buy as many more as you want.
Lefty Drizel being inducted into the National Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame a couple of nights ago. The Spartans have stretched it back out to 7. That last foul was on Love, his second. He spins by Namick, and a foul before the shot. Feast Week presented by Lowe's continues Thursday night with a doubleheader action right here on ESPN2 from the Old Spice Classic in Orlando. Number 20, Kansas State, featuring freshman Michael Beasley taking on George Mason. And then the Anaheim Classic at midnight, O.J. Mayo and USC against San Diego.
Special situations. There's no way in the world you allow that ball to get entered under the basket for a conversion right there. Great execution. Seal it off by UCLA.
Ship 2 more. The Bruins back within 5.
And remember, this is the first time 2 ranked teams playing against each other this year. He's okay. He'll be in double figures. Probably is already.
He is. That makes it 10 exactly. They're now up by 7.
I told you, Mama's eye told me he was going to play. I watched her in the first game. She would have been sitting there with that smile on if she didn't get word from her son that he was going to play.
And if you weren't with us, as the 3 goes down for Ship, Neitzel with a stomach virus, couldn't get out of bed, didn't practice, couldn't keep food down, and now Neitzel and Ship going back and forth here in this game.
Why don't you go to halftime to what we talked about? I told you Ship's going to make threes. I told you he's going to get out of break. I told you he's got to score. You don't listen to me. My point is not listening to me.
Back here in Kansas City, UCLA has closed within 4 of Michigan State. Tom Izzo furious at his team at their inability to execute the inbounds play. Cost him a bucket, and Josh Ship has really started to heat up now for the Bruins.
Well, Josh Ship right there in the inbounds comes off, seals off the defense. Then he shows his shooting the 3 off the screen. You just felt he was going to break out. He's too good a player. He's one of the premier wing players in college basketball.
One of the premier college basketball families. Remember, Joe and Cal at the Pac-10 in scoring a few years back, and Jaron's a sophomore at ASU.
Hey, ASU had a tough start last night. They were down 21-zip. They were the last Division I team to open up the season.
Lost out in Maui. Neitzel doing more of the ball handling here in the second half. Lucas joins him in the backcourt. Love is not in the game right now for UCLA.
So you want to dump it inside without Love. Good rotation by UCLA defensively.
9 on the shot clock. Suton, Morgan, Lucas, Namick, and Ebop. 5 Spartans have 3 fouls apiece, and the vast majority of them have been incurred defending or trying to defend Kevin Love. Inbounded to Summers.
Made him throw the ball all the way deep.
Shot clock at 3. Somebody got a finger on that, but Gray is there for the dunk.
Marcus Gray gets the luxury of making that catch. Reminiscent of 1983 when Lorenzo Charles caught the air ball from Mr. Wittenberg, and they won the national title, and Jimmy V ran around the court looking for someone to hug.
Some high percentage looks for Marquise Gray tonight, a couple of dunks. Ship. Almost got away with the travel. Yep. Westbrook, no. And the rebound of Neitzel.
I tell you, they rebound. They really block out. They attack the glass. You can see why they got a plus 20 margin on their opponents.
Neitzel off the screen. Nice pass. Name it. Got it.
Great execution. Ball reversal was the key. Neitzel knew ahead of time where to reverse that basketball, and they convert. Back up to 8.
Neitzel fighting an illness and coughing a little bit out on the floor as he did last night.
He's played well for a guy that's been ill.
Monterreal creates a little space and jams it home. He's a real battler under the boards.
Monterreal. Is that the name Real for his mom?
And he brings UCLA back within 6 as we near the midway point of the second half. The first bench points of the night
trying to double up
for UCLA.
They're trying to use that double team up high. Trying to trap. There it is. He bumps him.
And Summers is fouled. We will go to a timeout here in Kansas City. Number 1 UCLA down 6. Neitzel to Namick for the nice jumper. And Oregon St. Mary's update on the other side.
St. Mary's getting closer to upsetting Oregon. Patrick Mills, the sensational freshman point guard out of Australia, going to lay it in. Oregon unbeaten at number 11, but not for long as they are trailing big with just $1:22 left to go. And
well, Pam tied at number 11 in the ESPN USA Today Coaches Poll with Michigan State trying to pull off the upset and beat number 1 UCLA. We're here in Kansas City. Feast Week presented by Lowe's. The O'Reilly Auto Parts CBE Classic Championship game. Dan Shulman, Vic Vitale, Doris Berg, and a Michigan State coach, Tom Izzo, who after an exhibition game this year, when they lost to Grand Valley State, did what any coach would do. He kicked him out of the locker room. He said, you guys have lost your lockers. You're dressing out in the hall. You have lost your privileges in the locker room. Then they struggled in their next exhibition game against Michigan Tech. Obviously, they're playing much better basketball right now. I don't know. Put them right off campus.
I'll tell you, he really got that from Mike Krzyzewski. Did that 1 year down at Duke.
But they are playing better basketball right now and leading the number 1 team in the nation. Both teams shorthanded. Ben Howland's without Darren Collison, Michael Roll, and James Keefe. And Michigan State has Walton and Neitzel at less than 100% tonight.
But at least they have them.
Yes.
When you look at UCLA, they're missing so much. And Collison, Roll can shoot the basketball. At least Neitzel's been able to contribute, and so has Roll.
And some good minutes for the Spartans for Darrell Summers, who sits down. The freshman has played well. And Raymar Morgan, who's got 3 fouls. One of 9 players in this game with 3 fouls has checked back in for the first time in a while.
Well, here's where Kevin Love's got to really exert himself right now. They need the big fella down in that post.
There he is. Turns on Ebach. Loses it.
So he put the ball on the floor, and the guy came from behind with the deflection.
Love's going to be having nightmares. He'll think about Namick and Ebach and Gray. They've all been on him. Suton, Herzog.
Guys from the offside really coming in to hurt him. There's the screen up on top. Screen and roll. Good ball reversal.
And Morgan traveled. Well, as we mentioned, 9 players in this game have 3 fouls on them right now. A number of them are Michigan State big guys, and they got a lot of big guys, a lot of fouls to play with. But UCLA has a couple of issues as well.
Well, we're not really surprised because both clubs rely on physicality. Both clubs really get after. They bump, they bruise. I mean, it's getting danger time now for UCLA. They got to find a way to go on a little spurt right here.
Josh Shipp just checked back in. He was the guy who helped bring them back into it here in the second half.
Michigan State makes you work so hard to come up with a deuce.
Chris Allen defending Shipp right now. Westbrook baseline. Nice pass to Love. And it's blocked at the rim.
What a terrific job by Michigan State to rotate to the basketball. Ibach's on the floor for one reason. He can block shots. He can flat out block shots.
He was a starter most of the time last year, although he oftentimes would just play a few minutes and then come out and not play again. But he is a gifted shot blocker.
He's a diaper dandy. You may get publicity. You may get a lot of love. But don't bring the rock into me, baby. Don't bring it here.
Now, the discussion, I believe, was should the shot clock reset? It went back to 35, but now the officials have said, no, it was not a shot attempt, and it is at 12.
Wasn't a shot attempt?
Or it didn't hit the rim. Sure looked like the ball was. There's another block. Suton this time.
I'll tell you one thing. Love's hasn't had a shot blocked in high school like that. I can tell you that. But you know what? He'll come right back.
Westbrook. And he will shoot 3. And Morgan, the only guy more upset at Morgan than he is Tom Izzo.
Yeah, silly play when you foul three-point shooters.
Number 4, Dick.
Yes, Tom Izzo.
Raymar Morgan, not much of a factor here tonight.
See right here, way away from the basket. First of all, he's not a great three-point shooter. He's more of an athlete and a good handler.
Morgan just hasn't been able to stay in the game long enough. He does have 10 points, but the fouls have really limited his minutes tonight.
You know why UCLA is going to get better as well, Dan? With Westbrook getting all this experience and all this time, it's got to make him a better player when he comes out to back up Collison.
Yep. And now I believe they're looking at, should it be a 2-shot foul or a 3-shot foul? As Brian Kersey goes to the monitor again. The ruling a couple of times ago, I assume on the Ebok block was, did Love get the ball up on the rim, or if Ebok blocked it into the rim, then the shot clock does not reset, which it didn't. So now Morgan's going to have to come out, and they're looking to see if this should be a 2-shot foul or a 3-shot foul.
Oh, it's obvious, too. I mean, you look at it right here. He's inside the line.
Yeah.
It's an obvious 2. No time wasted. Good bit of officiating by Brian Kersey.
And you can see the dejection on the face of Raymar Morgan, just not able to stay on the floor all that much tonight, and he's going to come out right now.
Down 8, 9 minutes on the clock. You got to convert free throws.
Morgan sits down.
Coaching staff works so hard, talk to these guys. People don't realize the guys like Bonnie Daniels, Scott Duncan, Scott Larson do a great job, as do the guys at Michigan State.
A great job by Kevin Love. Yet another offensive rebound. I think we have him at 8 offensive rebounds right now. And look at the pump fakes to wind up drawing the foul.
He's a Mr. Double-Double guy. There he is inside. I watch the pump fake. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3, and he comes back up and gets fouled. That's fundamentals, man. That's just solid, great positioning, going to the line. Assistants at Michigan State, all guys that Mark Montgomery, Dwayne Stevens played there. Mike Garland used to be the head coach at Cleveland State, back at Michigan State.
The foul was on Ebok. It's his 4th. But again, Tom Izzo's got a lot of big guys, so he doesn't have to be as worried about Ebok's foul trouble as he does Morgan's foul trouble.
Yeah, he's got big guys he can rotate, and they're all about, you never know from one to the next who's going to come out and perform exceptionally well.
Ebok, a guy didn't even play last night, and now he's become a key factor in this game because they need everybody to defend Kevin Love.
You want to dribble too much now. You want to find the open guy, get that offense initiated.
How about all 3 freshmen are in the game right now for Michigan State? Lucas, Allen, and Summers at the 3 perimeter spots.
I'll say one thing, they're not normal freshmen, though. They're very unique and very talented.
Tom Izzo said he would take some lumps early by playing his freshmen.
They're doubling up high.
And they turn it over.
Turned it over. He's dribbling too much. He's dribbling the ball too much.
The Dick's Sporting Goods NIT season tip-off, all a part of Feast Week, presented by Lowe's, is here on ESPN2 tomorrow night. A great doubleheader. Texas A&M against Washington, and then Ohio State and Syracuse.
Lorenzo Romar was on that bench when Jim Herrick cut the Nets down in '95.
The last championship won by UCLA, the last of their 11. Love for 3. Mute has had a quiet night, has himself a putback.
Well, Mute right there with that rebound, good offensive rebound. He's one of those real tough complementary players, physical, good defensive player. It's worked hard on improving his shooting this year.
Suton, the entry pass to Ebok.
That's a plus. When Ebok scores, is a positive.
First points of the night for Edong Ebok, the 4th-year junior out of Nigeria.
I'll tell you one thing, it's a much improved team from Michigan State from last year.
Those freshmen are helping. Ebok with another block, this time on Aboya.
I'll tell you one thing, he's got to get minutes. When you can block shots like that, you change the complexion of a game.
Yep.
There's no substitute for a guy inside that shuts down the interior game.
Gray had some big minutes early. Ebok now. Namick's been in there. Suton's been in there. Herzog's been in there.
When they give you a scholarship, you got to earn the scholarship. Everybody that gets one should be able to give you some minutes, some time on the floor. I think coaches are afraid sometimes to really give kids an opportunity.
Michigan State with the potential to have great depth.
Look at that Ebok.
Which ways are going to go against Ebok, and that's going to be all for him, Dick.
Yeah, he's got 5, but he gave him some plus minutes. As you said, a kid that did not play gave him some plus minutes.
Got him a big bucket and a big block as well.
Here he is, rotating over with the block shot. Thou shalt not enter thy lane. No more, he's bye-bye.
No sore losers. No sore losers.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts at better prices every day. Sprint, the O'Reilly Auto Parts CBE Classic is rated for sprint speed. Sprint. And Volkswagen. When you get into a Volkswagen, it gets into you.
This ESPN2 telecast is available in a high definition on ESPN2 HD. presented by Olivia. A look at the induction class for 2007 into the National Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame.
Well, left to right, Dick Grote, scoring machine. Lefty Drizel, Mr. Enthusiasm. Dick Barnett, certainly a guy that shot the jump shot Tennessee State. Kareem, maybe the best ever in the post. Norm Stewart, Austin Carr, Vic Bubich, who did a great job. I thought he got into coaching too early. Only coached 10 years. And what a 10 years. 3 Final Fours when he was at Duke.
And not there because of health reasons. Guy Lewis, the longtime coach at Houston, who was the 8th member of the induction class. Beautiful building, great Hall of Fame. They've really done a nice job.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I thought Reed Geddes did such a phenomenal job. Guy V. Lewis, if you're listening, your guy represented you with such class, and we wish you the best in battling. You know, he had a stroke 5 years ago, and Guy V. did a great job. 5 Final Fours while at Houston.
Marquise Gray back into the game for Michigan State after Edong Ebok fouled out. Nobody had Westbrook.
Good diagonal cut. Good pass. Great recognition. Westbrook with the layup.
Kevin Love on the bench for UCLA. Michigan State trying to knock off number 1.
Got it back down to 4 again. Every time they get it to 4, Michigan State comes up with a big play.
Kalen Lucas. Rebound UCLA, Josh Shipp. And the carry. They've been calling that consistently.
They really are calling that point of emphasis. Josh gets called for the palm. See, look at this. Westbrook right now is going to get open down right in this area here. He's going to come right here. He wants the ball. He's going to go right to the goal.
2 Michigan State defenders both chase Shipp, and Westbrook was all alone under the basket.
See, that's just a lack of communication. You got to talk. You got to say yes. You got him, get him here.
Let's check out some of the stats tonight. UCLA led by Love, dominant on the offensive glass. Look at the bench disparity, though. Neitzel back into the game. Short on the 3, and another rebound for Shipp, and he's pushing it. And Bahamute wave it off.
They got the charge, the other side of the floor. You know, the discrepancy when you look, for example, at the totals with the bench scoring, that's expected, though, because UCLA's only got 8 scholarship players right now in uniform. Get the deuce, but on the other side, they had the charge.
And it's number 4 on Josh Shipp. Shipp will stay. Love will return.
Team control foul, so you don't shoot it. Player control, you don't shoot either.
Love with a double-double already tonight as Lucas brings it into the front court for Michigan State.
Neitzel missed the clutch, made a big 3 last night. Missouri caught him, and all of a sudden, bam! Like that double up high. They keep rotating up high.
Suton can't get the shot off, kept his foot down, didn't travel. Now he turns it over. Shipp the steal, and a strip by Lucas.
I can't believe no foul was called there. I thought Shipp got mugged going to the goal.
He agrees with you.
Take a look at right here. Here comes Suton out. They're going to strip him the basketball. There's the strip. There's the reach. Could have a foul right there. Could have about 3 fouls.
Zone look now by Michigan State.
See, Love's got to get into the gap of that zone. Every zone, they're going to try to match up on Love. I would get the ball into Love somewhere in the hole. Good things happen. He can pass or he can score once he touches that ball.
Baseline Westbrook. Slithers in and scores!
I'll tell you what, Westbrook's really playing well. He's going to add another dimension and give him another athlete. Not just a guy that can play on the perimeter, on the wing. Watch Westbrook on the... Here he comes. Along the baseline, that's his pure athleticism. And Love says, yeah, I love it. I'm going to give you some love, man. Come on up here. Yeah, let me give you some love.
9 for Westbrook, 4th foul on Namick. Walton replaces Lucas now for Michigan State. The fouls are piling up. Ebok is out. Morgan and Namick with 4. Shipp with 4 for UCLA. That's huge.
My friend, I told you we're going to have a heck of a basketball game. I told you they would go away when they were down double digits. Too much pride. That uniform and that jersey represents too much in the way of pride.
A very physical game tonight. Suton. Namick. Another baseline jumper for Drew Namick.
Well, you know what? Suton last night elevated his game. It was the reason they got to the final. Namick now has made several big plays.
Tonight they've got 6 from Namick, 6 from Gray. They got a bucket from Ebok, getting some points from their big guys. Remember Ship playing with 4.
So what impresses me about Tom Izzo's club, they make every possession an unbelievable clinic in terms of trying to score against him.
Westbrook turns the corner. He's fouled again.
He's really asserting himself offensively, Westbrook. Playing with a lot of confidence.
And it's going to be Suton picking up his 4th.
Suton was brilliant last night. Bo Ryan had told me he can make some big plays. Doesn't get a lot of recognition as Namick, the redhead with the jumper. Best redhead ever to play the game, though. Sorry, Mr. Namick. He wore the UCLA uniform. His name was Walton. He only went 21 for 22. 21 for 22.
Not bad, huh?
Why did he miss a shot? He told me the other night. I said, Bill, how'd you miss that shot?
Westbrook at the line for 2. Here comes Morgan. Here comes Gray. Out goes Summers. Out goes Suton. Remember, Morgan has 4 fouls.
Tell you one thing I'll remember about the Hall of Fame is the brilliant job of introductions by former players about their coaches or the peers, the Waltons, the Elmores, the Reed Gettys, the Jeff Mullins.
30-second timeout at UCLA with the deficit, Dick, down to 2. Michigan State led by double digits most of the first half.
Yeah, and I think there was an announcer that said to you that this is going to be one heck of a game, that UCLA is not going away.
Would that be you?
I don't know. Was it me?
I think it was you. Number 1 UCLA back within a deuce. Kevin Love has had to work so hard for everything he's got tonight, and he has not backed down from the physical challenge at all.
He really knows how to work on the offensive boards. He uses position so well. There he is with the reverse layup. Does his passing ability. Sees right over the top of the defense. Then he shows the little touch lob pass. Now he's going to show his ability to seal off inside. Use the big body. You know, and that body is going to get a little bit more solid in terms of strength. Look at this. She says, Kevin Love is all I need. What about Dickie V?
No.
What about Dickie V?
All she needs is love.
God, I can't believe it. Not enough. People magazine sent me to the sideline and picked Matt Damon as the sexiest man over me.
An outrage. Clearly, right there is just an outrage.
I didn't make the top 5.
Back-to-back double-doubles here in Kansas City for Kevin Love. Michigan State with the ball in a 2-point lead under 5 minutes to go.
Patience, keep an eye on Knight so he likes the end of the game situations.
Walton, Westbrook
over-dribbling. Over-dribbling. Westbrook has really become a star here in the last 5 minutes. The Bruins are back. See, Love stepped out, trying to double up on top and rotate back.
UCLA has never led in this game. They just got it back to a tie on the dunk by Westbrook. Neitzel can't get a shot off. Luka shot by Mute at 6'7", covering the 6'1" Neitzel.
I tell you, he's got great foot speed and great movement that he can cover.
Morgan. Walter. Rebound, Love.
Oh, he got bumped.
UCLA looking for its first lead of the night. They were down 8-0. They didn't score until the 14-21 mark of the first half. Aboya is knocked down to the court and is shaken up. A big rugged customer in Alfred Aboya still down on the court.
I didn't see what happened, Joe.
We will get a look and bring you some replays when we come back out of the timeout. 3:43 to play as Ben Howland looks on with concern over his injured player. Tie game.
It is all over at St. Mary's. Aussie freshman Patrick Mills had 37 points against co-number 11 Oregon, and here is a quality storming of the court for the folks there. St. Mary's 4-0 for the first time in 14 years. Dan?
All right, Pam, a big celebration there. Another upset, and Michigan State trying to pull off an upset here against UCLA, which has itself another injured player. Knee-to-knee contact between Morgan and Aboya, and Alfred Aboya walking off the court before that last timeout. Monreal has checked back in his place. Zone look again from Michigan State, Dick.
Well, now we get into the real crunch time where the right guy's got to shoot the ball. Got to make sure you go to your real strong options.
Westbrook, a block by Namick. Namick had 55 blocks last year, and if he plays regularly this year, he'll become their all-time leader, and there is 1 second on the shot clock.
Just throw the lob up on top to Long. He tried to bounce it off his leg.
Not a bad idea if you got 3 seconds on the shot clock, but at 1, that's not going to work.
I tell you, Westbrook's really become assertive offensively. He's wanting to make big plays. I think the one thing Ben Holland's got to be really proud of is the way the kids have gutted back, no matter win or lose, to really get this into a situation where they got a chance to win.
Aboya just came back out of the locker room, back to the bench, and right to the scores table.
Oh, nice look.
Gray underneath, Michigan State leads.
They slip off after a double team and no one rotates out. They slip off that little screen, go to the goal, and get a layup. Great execution by Tom Izzo and his kids.
Raymar Morgan with another beautiful feed. The Spartans up by a deuce. And Baumute up and under Namick. Loose ball to Monterreal, and he's fouled.
A foul from the back. Look at Tom Izzo. Grab the ball. Grab the ball.
Marquise Gray, the foul, his first. Monterreal goes to the line for 2 at the other end. Morgan to Gray.
Kevin Love got beat for one simple reason. He was staring at the ball. You must see ball, you man. You can't just stare at the ball. He's human. He made an error.
Monterreal, who historically has struggled at the line. Michigan State, in the long history of their basketball program, has knocked off a #1 twice. The 1979 national title game against Indiana State, and then last year against Wisconsin. He works his tail off, but he's not the guy you want at the line. Monterreal with a couple of misses.
Well, a little bit too much palm on a basketball. He does. He's tenacious inside, plays very hard.
Timeout, Tom Izzo.
But you got to be careful in the end of the game. They'll put him on a free throw line.
Well, he might be coming out because Aboya is getting ready to come back in. So Monterreal could be coming out. Neitzel just checked back in for Michigan State. All kinds of family here in Kansas City watching their sons perform at a very high level. Stan Love, the father of Kevin Love, former college star and NBA player.
Played with the Washington Bullets, first round, came out of Oregon, was a star. Oregon gets beat by St. Mary's. That was a trap game. St. Mary's is very good.
And also in attendance here tonight, the Neitzels.
I told you the first game we showed the Neitzels, the mom had the little smile. I said her son would play.
Dad doesn't look quite as relaxed, though, as mom does. Neitzel himself getting ready to check back into the game. He is in now as he'll inbound it for the Spartans. A 2-point lead for Michigan State. They've led by as many as 13. UCLA has never led.
Well, last night we talked about clutch. Our Neitzel's a clutch player, and he made a big 3 late in the game against Missouri.
Westbrook trailing Neitzel around the floor.
Trying to get a double screen up top. See, Love's got to learn if he's going to step out, he's got to rotate back.
Neitzel gets a look.
That's all right. At the end of the game, I want that kid shooting the rock. I want that kid shooting the rock.
Sick or not, virus or not, he has come up with a big night tonight.
He's a big-time player. I told you we're going to see him tonight.
13 for Neitzel.
He loves the end of the game.
Love and 1.
Terrific play by Stars. You like to see the end of the game where Stars step up. Look at that, he says, that's my guy. That's my guy. Show me some love. Gonna watch Neitzel now get free. Pop out off the screen, square his body. Nothing but nylon. And then we see anything you can do, I can do as well. And it's Mr. Love protecting. He does a great job, doesn't he, Dan? Protecting the ball.
Got those big, broad shoulders. You can't get at him. Namick set the screen at the other end that freed up Neitzel for the shot. Namick called for the foul at this end. That finishes his night. He becomes the second Spartan to foul out of the game.
A lot of guys going to foul out trying to check Kevin Love. What he really does well, he also has the touch. He not only seals off the defense well, look at the foul situation. 2 out, 2 with 4. The other side, 4, and 3 guys with 3.
Love is up to 20 points on the night. It will be Suton coming back into the game and now for Michigan State. So either he or Gray will be given the task of trying to defend Love.
I'll tell you, with Suton, Namick, talk about Eibach, they got some nice big kids they can rotate. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt we're going to see both these clubs major factors come March Madness.
Love, a busy night at the line tonight.
Can't wait to get to UCLA for a game night. We go down there for that Arizona game. Have them in the Paulie Pavilion for a while. They've won 23 in a row at home. Mr. Collison should be in the lineup by that time, obviously.
Love out, Monterreal in. 1:58 to go. Michigan State leading number 1 UCLA by 2. Here with the Sprint Center in Kansas City.
They're trying to save Love. They're going to substitute offense and defense.
UCLA down to 1 timeout. Nice play by Aboya.
Telegraph that pass.
He wants to go the distance. But by Mbamute to tie it.
Mbamute up there with the offensive rebound. Rashad.
The Cameroon connection for UCLA. Aboya and Mbamute, and we're tied again. Neitzel shoos Lucas out of the way. Tom Izzo said, come on over here, and let's call a timeout.
Well, Neitzel, one of the clutch players in college basketball.
1:17 to go. Let's see how UCLA got this game tied again.
Well, we're going to see the steal here. He telegraphed the pass, steps right in the passing lane, and there's Aboya going to the goal, but there's the trail. There's the trail. Luke Richard trailing with the jam.
And win or lose, Dick, how do you think Tom Izzo's going to feel? A guy who values rebounding as much as any coach in America when he sees that the Bruins have 23 offensive rebounds.
Win or lose. If he wins, he'll enjoy that turkey. Loopy and him have a great time and he'll care less about those 23. If he loses, I'm telling you, it becomes a nightmare.
Well, they may not get kicked out of their locker room again, but they're going to do a little extra rebounding drills, as they always do in East Lansing. We are tied at 63, down to 1:17 to go.
Well, right now you got to be, if you're UCLA, really concerned about matching up with Neitzel. He's the guy that wants to make big shots.
And we'll see if they run a play for him as Lucas gets set to inbound.
They got Ship playing him. They got Ship right up in his face.
Ship's got 4 fouls. Shot clock at 7.
He wants to attack him. He knows he's got 4. Lay the screen.
The 3 over him.
That was a tough shot. Ship was right in his face. I mean, Ben Howland could not have asked for a better defensive effort that he received right there from Josh Ship.
And he will use, Ben Howland will, his final timeout.
Heck of a college basketball
really
game.
Is. Yep.
2 teams, first time this year, 2 ranked teams playing each other.
And again, the beauty of this kind of an early season tournament where teams like this can find out a lot about themselves playing high caliber basketball.
Well, they get a real true grade. This is like taking trigonometry. Did you ever take that?
A little
no,
bit.
You took general math. But you see, you take trig, you find out how good you are.
Yeah.
Well, here, this is not Cupcake City. These are legitimate teams. But the great thing about college basketball versus college football, a loss here tonight does not destroy you. In college football, you lose a big game early. It could be lights out, party done.
What does UCLA look for right now? They got the basketball looking for the lead.
Well, right now, I'd play a little 2-man game with Ship and Love. I'd play a 2-man game. I'd isolate one side of the floor. I want my best offensive options, and then I send to the glass people like Aboya and Luke Richard, Mbamute, send them to the glass.
Now, remember, Love was out of the game. That timeout allowed Ben Howland to get Love back into the game.
They're going to go zone. They're going to go zone. So right now, you got to look for the gap in that zone.
Love is hollering over to Ben Howland. He wants to know what he should be doing. What is the play right now? The zone may have surprised him a little bit.
I think the zone did surprise him. However, they got a zone attack. Should not be that much of a dilemma.
Love staying down low, not flashing to the high post. Here comes Aboya to set a screen.
He's trying to get position on the offensive boards.
Their first lead of the night. Luke Richard and Mamute.
He has improved his shooting. He has worked so hard in shooting the basketball. We talked about the fact when they were down double figures that they would be back. We talked about the fact that they have pride in that jersey. UCLA, that uniform has always been very, very special.
This may not have been option number one. They had to improvise when they faced the zone, but a guy who has worked diligently on his outside shot, it pays off for him.
Yeah, he really has worked hard. We talk about UCLA and all the expectations. Look at the bench, a little jubilant. Look at Ben Holland showing some emotion.
Everybody's celebrating, except Ben Holland saying, get back, get back.
First time they've taken the lead. I'll tell you, our colleague, to me, because of expectations, most guys, if you go to the Sweet 16 5 times in 6 years, they build a monument. But at UCLA, the expectations are so high. Certain things happen in football now. Coaches fired left and right. We saw Lloyd Carr. I mean, here's a guy 5 times, won the Big Ten title, won a national title. Now the big question about fouling. Okay, in this situation here, I wouldn't foul with that much time left on the clock. I would foul if you got less than 5 seconds. Then I would not let them shoot the 3. But right now, you're not going to foul with this much time left on our clock.
And they may not even look for a 3. They may look for a quick 2 if they can't get Neitzel open for a good look. Neitzel and Allen, the 2 best shooters for Michigan State, both on the floor.
Well, if it gets under 5 seconds, I would foul and not let him shoot the 3. Put him on the line for 2.
Neitzel defended by Ship.
Biggest possession of the night for Michigan State.
Their first deficit of the night. A deep 3. Wide left, Bruin ball.
Great defense again. Neitzel in both possessions didn't get great looks. Those kids really gave a great effort tonight. Will it be good enough?
Love checks back in and he'll inbound it.
You got to try for the steal. If you don't get it, you got to put him on the line right away.
Tom Izzo questioning the shot selection by Drew Neitzel.
Yeah, but if it went in, what would have happened?
Way to go, kiddo.
Great shot, Drew. Yeah. Great shot, you're clutch. See the big guy? The big guy was right in his face. Lorenzo Monreal were right in his face. He never had an open look. Mom and Dad, oh, gee whiz. A quick stare at the scoreboard.
Ship at the line for UCLA.
Well, the star here can put this game away. He can put it away. Can make it now. It is a 2-possession game.
Love out. Monreal back in for defense. UCLA did not take the lead until the final 30 seconds.
Who's MVP of the tournament? I know my choice.
Mr. Love.
Mr. Love.
Yep.
Mr. Love.
18 and 16 last night, and I think 21 and 12 here tonight.
UCLA, what a major factor. What a big win to win in this environment here, and to win it without Darren Collison, without Michael Roll, without a role player like James Keefe. When they get all those back and have multiple options, very flexible, they're going to be dynamite.
And our 2K Sports player of the game tonight is the freshman, Kevin Love, 21 and 11 tonight. And again, he battled Ebok, he battled Namick, he battled Suton, he battled Gray, and he's come out victorious. And Dad loves it.
Oh, he's got to love it. Hey, let me just ask you this. You always put me on the spot. All the time.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot. First of all, I want the camera. I want the camera to see his face as I ask him this question.
I'm really looking forward to this.
I want all you people now to listen in UCLA and in Memphis. We saw Memphis. We saw UCLA. I don't want you to be a politician. I don't want you to be Obama or Hillary or Rudy Giuliani. I want you to pick which is the better team.
UCLA's not whole. They don't have they don't have their All-American.
He's running for politics.
They don't have their All-American.
You're a Giuliani. You're running for politics. You're running for politics.
Who's better?
Who's better? Right now, today, edge Memphis. But I haven't because
UCLA's not whole.
That's true. He's right again. I'm a dummy. He's right again. He's right again.
Hey, if I run, you're not my running mate. Sorry, kiddo.
I don't blame you.
But it's a great question.
But wait a minute, you'd like me to donate some cash to your campaign?
Yeah, to the campaign. There you go. Once they get this guy back, ask me the question again.
Okay, we will do it again.
And you know what? We're going to get to see North Carolina next week.
Exactly.
And so we got to talk about them.
Well, North Carolina's going to be full cast, so I'm going to ask you this next week. Prepare.
All
North
right.
Carolina or Memphis?
All right. 5 seconds to go. 5-point deficit. Allen forces up the 3, and UCLA wins it.
Great win. Great win because of the way they came back, played without Collison. People at Pauley Pavilion have a lot to be proud of. This is going to be a terrific team. It's going to get better and better in the future. #1 recruiting class. I can't wait to go to Pauley Pavilion because that means I go to Rodeo Drive.
A team that didn't score for the first 5 minutes and 39 seconds of tonight's game. A freshman who had to fight 5-on-1 at times. Kevin Love against the entire swarming defense of Michigan State. But the Bruins come back and win it by 5. Ben Howland standing by with Doris Burke.
A drastically different team defensively and rebounding the basketball. What changed in that locker room?
You know, we were down 11 at halftime. Our guys have a lot of pride. They just really got it up. It's hard to play back-to-back nights. This is a great team in Michigan State. I knew it'd be a war like this tonight. I'm really proud of our leadership within the team, the way we fought back, all right, and kept playing as hard as we could.
Kevin Love endured a physical beating from a variety of different defenders. How did you think he reacted?
I thought he did a great job. He made his big shot down the stretch there. We were down 5, I think 63-58, and we got it cut back to a 2-point game on a big shot where he finished and made a foul shot. I'm really proud of all our guys. Kevin saw what it's like to play against a really physical team.
Westbrook, without Darren Collison, had to go all 40 minutes. He did a lot of nice things. Evaluate his performance.
Yeah, really proud of our guys. We're playing just 6-7 guys a lot of minutes right now, so we'll be thankful when we do finally get healthy and get Roll, Keefe, and Darren Collison back in the lineup.
Congratulations on 2 goody wins.
Thank you.
NO run here tonight to win 68-63 and win the championship at the O'Reilly Auto Parts CBE Classic in Kansas City. Coming up next on ESPN2, it's Classic Boxing. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Dick Vitale, Doris Burke, and our entire ESPN crew, Dan Schulman saying so long and thanks for watching.